Hello, and welcome back to the Dogman Show. I'm your host, Dogman. This is part two of two, our season one finale. Let's get back in the swing of things. I was talking about being fans of something and, feeling like wearing someone else's symbol when you don't know anything about it is being a poser. But if you treated every newcomer or every outsider as hostile, whatever, you never make new friends, so whatever. I guess I really have nothing other than my personal dislike for that irritating conversation of, oh wow, I love X, Y, or Z, because I'm running into a person who's wearing this T-shirt and it has X, Y, or Z on it, and I assume that because another human being is wearing a T-shirt with a thing that I like on it, that I have common ground with them, therefore I can speak to them about this thing. But so many times it's awkward, and they're like, oh no, someone gave it to me or whatever, or just like, oh no, I've never seen this show, or blah, blah, blah. And it's weird. It's, I don't know, vexing. I'm glad you joined us for the next part of this. We have a report from our gonzo journalist, Danny Method. His report on the American Dream. It was just after midnight. Still, I was restless. No, just overstimulated and underwhelmed. Why, in all the universe, do we have such self-awareness? I want so vehemently to be good and righteous. I fail constantly. My actions have brought pain and shame to many, myself included. The truth is, I'm not a very good person, up until a certain point. I was a nothing master, full of useless knowledge and information. Nobody gained from my existence, but I still was, surviving on hate and pain. I learned fear, love, fun, friendship, betrayal, success, failure, sex, everything that makes a boy a man. Or so I believe. To live before I die like everyone else. That was my American dream. To mean something and change the world. I live that dream now, but dreams do change. Only death and taxes are certain. Dreams change, people grow, the universe is in a constant state of change. The mountain has become the valley. The desert has been swallowed by the sea. Some of us can't forget how things were before. Some of us didn't have a heart or a soul. We were broken and hollow, alone, helpless, and it was better that way. Or was it? It's been a couple of decades now. I've heard that paradigm extolled. How many terrified children were forced to be adults too soon? Far too many to list. For too many reasons. Meet them every day almost. It's goddamn uncanny how often. Trying to help people and hear them out just leaves you jaded. People's pain gets predictable. Sometimes it feels like a church I went to, only focused on pain and problems, but not solutions. Dear God, I hate who I was. I still wear that hatred today. I have grown and changed so much. I found a heart where before was only empty space. I wish I could say I found a soul, but that was actually given to me. I'm graced with the prizes sought by kings and peasants alike. Purpose, meaning, love, truth. I want for little to nothing. Happiness is temporary. Satisfaction. Nobody talks about that. The true lasting value of accomplishment. The jewel in my crown of confidence. I would be more specific, but I'm not gonna. That is the beauty of the American dream. It's private and truly personal. Now at this point, many have said much about my views. Wrong, cold, negative. Fuck that. The dream is a real nightmare for so many still. It's truly a fucked up sight how life seems to be the hardest on the people who least deserve it. What the hell is that about? Alternatively, fuck them and everyone that isn't you or your loved ones / friends. If God, or the gods, or whatever, are all powerful, couldn't they protect the innocent and punish the wicked? Our world kind of sucks ass. All faiths have some kind of lame fucking excuse of a story why, from Pandora's box to Satan's asshole. Spent too many years living in the 10,000 tales of the living dead, abused, abandoned, and addicted. Who are they? Who am I? Who are you? None of that shit really matters when we're all born to suffer and fucking die. Well, I've experienced much to the contrary. The seas burn and the sky is blackened. The plague eats us alive. Yet we still prevail. Maybe just despite the powers that be. I like to think so. We're all imperfect works of art in the making. We as a society would greatly benefit from a regular emphasis on self. You are you. There is only one you. There are many like you, but they are not you. That makes you singular and different. That is not the same as special or important. We must all seek to distinguish ourselves with deeds and faith. Not in any specific God, but in the beauty and dignity that is the human animal and our fellow man. That's a far out report. It's definitely not something you can pass over so casually, but I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Have you ever tried absinthe? It's a fantastic drink. They call it the Green Fairy in some circles. Now, I don't know about you, but always suspicious of brightly colored liquids that they serve at a bar. But I did try it, and it tastes like Jägermeister. It's got that black licorice vibe that so many people do not enjoy. But it's certainly got a history with writers and artists and whatnot. It's made of some ingredients that witches used to like to doodle with, wormwood and what have you. Now, speaking of magic, I had couple of shots in the direction of Naruto versus Avatar. The four nations lived in harmony until the Fire Nation attacked, right? So, in my mind, this is just was it? It's a crossover event, or a what if, I guess now, because that's so popular. Yeah, instead of Prince Zuko and the Fire Nation showing up, that Naruto and Leaf Ninja show up, because if you remember that they are from the land of fire also, and so yeah, just watch them destroy everybody, because there's no way the Avatar can compete with any of like the tailed beasts or all that crap. Like these, yeah, they're just planetary ending levels of energy. Excuse me. If you planetary ending, man. If you have not seen Gravity Falls, watch Gravity Falls. And you say, oh well, yeah, it's a Disney show or whatever. It's definitely worth it. Like if you're a Rick and Morty head, it has a lot of crossover with that. It definitely it's definitely dark for a Disney show. And if you are trying to mix it up and watch something that you and your kids would enjoy, or just trying to watch something different when you're done watching every movie on Netflix. Uh, there are some games that you just can't forget. Tekken 3, Street Fighter 2, and every once in a while there's a game that you'll play and it'll get its claws into you. I have played Pokemon Emerald so many fucking times now, because I'll get it on my phone and then the phone will fuck up or I'll lose the phone and then I'll get it again and I'll put it on the next phone and it'll repeat process. And I've gotten pretty damn far in that game, but just like the others, it's irritating as crap. There's Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. There's a lot of these games that are really good, and I like playing them, but I've just never gotten to finish them. Now, we're playing fast and loose here, but Superstar Saga is just an incredible Mario game. Mario and Luigi together they go to another country and just whip ass. They fight everyone, pretty much. Yeah, if you wonder like what Luigi can do, this is a fantastic example, I should say, of why he's in Smash Brothers. They're like, oh, who's Luigi? He's just a Mario clone. It's like, nope. That's the reason he got his own game. Luigi can fucking wail. Moving on. There's a weird lack of mature displays of dating in anime and cartoons, and I don't know if that's intentional or is it like a censorship thing or just like maybe poor writing, but it's weirdly frustrating to know that people are going to go forward seeing this as an example and being like, God, it must be really complicated to deal with stuff. And I remember being like a young, impressionable person too, and watching Friends and watching Disney movies and like anime, things like that, and thinking that the world worked a certain way, and being really shocked slash disappointed slash confused when seeing like how the real world worked. And I talked to a lot of people in this. They're like, yeah, it is life. Life is often disappointing and stupid, and I think it's hilarious though. Uh, like why? Why no functional relationships in animation? Why? Especially because they can show everything from disembowelment to, and especially in like anime and stuff like that too. They have people in like skin tight, scantily clad stuff. You can see every bit of everything, and I mean they kill each other pretty brutally. Like I would say Queen's Blade, Berserk, Icon Club, and any harem anime. Like, yeah, if you can get away with that, like, why not have just a group of friends that date each other and sometimes sleep together? Like, it sounds boring, whatever, and there's lots of slice of life, but yeah, I guess they do things differently overseas. But moving on. So they talk about something called psychic reincarnation. Now we're getting into the paranormal here. This is some off the wall stuff that has come up in the feed. That you can be reincarnated. That yeah, your personality or that a personality can be sent back into the mortal world after dying, and that's what is it? Deja vu and things like that. You feel like you've been somewhere, done something before. I have a friend who likes to talk about stuff like this, uh, past lives, what have you. It's pretty damn interesting to think, yeah, that you've lived a whole another set of lives before, and then just got like shuffled back into another body. How fucking irritating would that be? And then you get none of the knowledge, so you don't even. You have to relearn every stupid fucking thing. Talk about pain in the ass. But they say that there is a collective unconscious that we are made out of what the universe is made out of. So yeah, like basic science class shit. But are you sitting comfortably, watching your video, or I mean, it's because no, you're not. You're moving. The planet is moving, spinning, and also going around the sun, right? And then there's stuff that's all the other planets are going around that, but then that's also moving around a galactic central point. So constant, everything is in motion, thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, and the way that our bodies and brains are built, you can't even feel it really. But you can watch the sunrise and sunset and what have you, watch the clouds move, and you're like, oh, okay, we really are moving. Some they argue that it's illusion or whatever, but I say qui bono, to whose benefit? If there is, say, a paranormal factor or strange things like this out in the world, because I hear reports from very like trustworthy, reliable people, intelligent people, and it's it's worrisome when people you know have no benefit from telling you a story about something paranormal and or fantastical tells you this, and also when you see something unbelievable with your own two eyes after a lifetime of believing in just straight up science, you know what I mean? And see something that totally makes no sense, breaks rules and shit. It is, it's an eye opener. And I've heard a lot of people say a lot of interesting things about it. Well, I mean, ghosts, aliens, uh, demons, angels, chupacabras, vampires. I mean, if they all exist simultaneously, it's a very fucking complicated universe. And they say that there's like underwater people, and then there's people living on the planet, and time travelers, and just like, at what point do you separate this shit? It all seems very interesting, but yes, okay. So say it is true, right? And I'm not saying that I believe it is true, but having been reported to by very trustworthy sources, and also having witnessed a few strange things in my time, um, it has opened my eyes and opened my mind to the possibilities that there are more things in this life than even your philosophy, Horatio. So, is just knowing about it enough? Like, okay, so say there is aliens. They talk about cattle mutilation and abductions and brainwashing and implants and probes. That's super spooky. Close encounters of the fourth kind, and yeah, yeah. Nobody digs that shit. That's spooky. But there's also, like, everyone has a grandma or an aunt or a cousin that has a haunted house story or a ghost or blah blah blah. Don't go in that room because that's where the blah blah blah. How do you protect yourself from like insane shit like that too? It's just knowing about it is complicated and creepy enough. But like, how do you? Yeah, they say, oh, we religion is just like. Does that work for stuff from other dimensions? And does that work for aliens? And I'm like, oh, yeah. There's some people that say religion is the answer for everything. A broken leg, religion. Throwing up, religion. You got a dart in your neck, religion. It's just like, okay, this again, too. At what point do you cut that? But fuck, man. Thinking about other dimensions, I brought it up in another episode, but yeah, to think that there are more complicated things than us out there, and then just about like the way outer space is out of our planet, that there's like the macrocosm, which is outside of our universe or in between universes. So there's other parallel universes, right? So that's fucking insane. The way there's like a nanoverse or whatever, you shrink super down. That there's one outside the big version of it, the reverse of it. That's fucking crazy, right? Uh, hmm. Now I have a couple of thoughts, and I really am inclined less and less to be combative and more positive, thoughtful, and such. However, there's a lot of people out there who are going through it. And to hear somebody else say, fuck everything, the universe sucks ass, and I want to punch it in the fucking throat. Like, that cheers people up sometimes. It's just like, yeah, I've been miserable. Like, you know what I mean? And then when someone told me, like, oh yeah, I've been through this and I've been through that. When this person died or when this happened, and they tell me like, oh yeah, I had to deal with depression. When people tell me their miserable stories, I feel more human about being miserable and feeling like my depression and shit isn't like outlandish, or I'm not wrong to feel that way. Or just, when they're angry, stressed, things like that too. Hearing other people's war stories always cheers me up. So I feel like that's a big portion of this podcast is, you know what I mean, little catharsis, little fucking so I can bring that for the people. Because not everyone has their own personal fucking so now Dogman, the Dogman Show, and I am your host, Dogman, your own personal spirit animal, and I hope to guide you to a higher level of consciousness. Cheers. Good evening.